days there are more women, many more. When I first started, very few. And people were very skeptical, not sure if they could play for a woman conductor. But I always found in OFUNAM that they were welcoming. They were very, very wonderful to work with. But the situation has changed, thank goodness. It took a long time. I think that young women need to have the opportunity to grow, because it's very difficult to conduct when you are just starting, because you are insecure, you're worried. So we need to give young women a place to develop, to find their way, to learn, and to help them get to the stage where they can conduct and feel confident and strong. That's important all over the world.
Of course.
For women who want to be conductors, the same thing. I would tell them it's a life of studying, always studying, working, trying to learn, growing all the time. So you have to be prepared to work hard. But it is very, very wonderful life. I mean, to be in the middle of this music, in the middle of the team of the orchestra, this team is spectacular. So it takes a long time. You have to be patient and you have to really work hard. But there is no more beautiful place to be, I think, than on the podium in the middle of an orchestra. Oh, they are like old friends now. To come back to OFUNAM is very, very happy, because many of them I remember and they remember me. So it is so good to see them again. It's good to be on this beautiful campus. I mean, it's incredible. This orchestra is always really one of the finest in the country. It's fantastic. And the hall has beautiful acoustics. So it's a great pleasure to come back.
You feel like home again.
I feel like I'm home, and a lot of happiness. You know, this concert program is put together to reflect women, because March is the month for women. So Ina Boyle, almost unknown. She was a young Irish girl right before the time of the First World War. Very gifted. She lived in a tiny village in Ireland, and she would take the boat to go to England to study with Ralph Vaughan Williams, the great English composer. She would go once a month to study with him. He thought she was fantastic and brilliant. And so she was getting ready for an important career, but then the First World War happened. No one could travel, no more boats going back and forth. So she ended up living her life writing, but not having performances. It's only now that she's being rediscovered. And in this piece, her symphony, she writes about the landscape of Ireland. So we hear something very pastoral, very calm, gentle, filled with beauty, filled with tranquility. You can imagine the setting in Ireland, which is so green. I worked there 4 years, and it's so green and so beautiful. So she writes about her home. And only now can we listen to this. So this might be the first time this piece has ever been played in Mexico. Well, Gabriela Lena Franchi is a big hero in the United States. You know, she was born in California, but she uses very much the background, the heritage of her mother from Peru. So she is steeped in the music of South America. She loves this, in Mexico as well. She uses that folk music always. So this piece is about the Andes Mountains. And the flutes especially, there's some special type of flout that they have in the Andes Mountains. So she writes about this. It's very powerful, it's very beautiful, and in it you feel a sense of wildness of this landscape in the mountains, but tremendously beautiful, with a very big cadenza, big solos for the two flutes. You know, there is a connection, I think, even though Schumann, of course, was writing it as a man, but he had a very, very strong partner in his wife, Clara Schumann. Clara Schumann, a great pianist, one of the great virtuosos of the piano, also a composer herself, and she supported him. He had a very difficult life, and he ended his life in an asylum for the insane. I mean, he was really afflicted with what we think now was a bipolar disease. So he suffered so much, but when he was feeling in his energetic time, his happy time, like when he wrote this, he had just moved to Dusseldorf. He was very happy, and he was living right on El Rio Rin, the Rhine River, this incredible river filled with legends and poetry. He was so happy, so he wrote this piece about that river. And it is really a landscape of the beauty of that river and of the cathedral that was right on the river, the Cologne Cathedral. So it's really a tone poem, but I think it's connected to his happiness with his wife, Clara, as well. So she gave him strength. So, a woman.
So we're going to have a very, very magic woman program.
I hope so, and the orchestra is sounding so beautiful.
So we can wait to see you this weekend conducting, and thank you so much for this little interview.